92, which is a favorite among many people. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. It is good. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. To sing praises to your name most high. To proclaim your loyal love in the morning and your faithfulness at nighttime. With the steady heart, with the melody of the lyre, because you have made me happy. You have made me happy, Lord, by your acts. I sing with joy because of your handiwork. How awesome are your works, Lord. Your thoughts are so deep. Ignorant people don't know. Fools don't understand this. The righteousness will spring up like a palm tree. They will grow strong like a cedar of Lebanon. Those who have been replanted in the Lord's house will spring up in the courtyards of our God. They will bear fruit even when old and gray. They will remain lush and fresh in order to proclaim, the Lord is righteous. He is my rock. There is nothing unrighteous in him. Psalm 92 is the only psalm that has this title, a psalm for the Sabbath day. Do you remember what the Sabbath is? The day of rest that was commanded by God. Do you take a day of rest? Do you? Interesting. Because in their tradition, and it happens to be in our tradition too, we should take some time to rest. And the perfect psalm for that is this one. This is the only one that says for the Sabbath day. They wanted to make sure that no matter what the circumstances, no matter what was going on, no matter the changes in life, no matter whether we were young or old, every single one of the people of God will take time to stop and rest in His presence. And as we rest, we praise His name, because it is good to give thanks to the Lord. It is good to proclaim His mercies, His faithful love in the morning. You know, when you open your eyes in the morning, there's those few seconds before your mind gets to the reality of the presence, and you begin to think of what I need to do today, and I have to get dressed because I have to go to Richmond, or I have to get dressed because I need to pick up someone, or I have to do this, and I have to do that. Those few seconds right before our brain begins to fill us with the realities of this world. What an amazing thing is to begin today giving thanks to the Lord. When we open our eyes, thank you, Lord. One more morning. Isn't that amazing? Look at this beautiful morning. Every morning created by the one that loves us. So when we proclaim His love in the morning, we remember that we are loved, because there are days in which it's hard to remember that someone loves us, no? There are difficult days. We have to encounter difficult times sometimes. There are difficult decisions we have to make sometimes. There are people that we love that are having difficulties also. And our heart sometimes is flooded by difficult thoughts, anxiety, fear to the future. But when we look up and we see the morning, it's a promise for us that the one that loved us yesterday and the day before will still love us for eternity. When we begin our day with love, we can encounter anything in the name our Lord. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. It is good to proclaim your loyal love in the morning and your faithfulness at night. Asking us again at night. Sometimes we have very troublesome days. Isn't that right? Or very difficult days in which do you have to go to meetings, any of you? I don't like meetings very much. And there are some meetings that are more difficult than others. You know, there are some meetings that are routine. But there are meetings in which difficult decisions needs to be made. And our hearts feel like shrinking. And at the end of the day, when we're not sure what the next day will bring, when we're not sure what the future will bring, when our hearts feel fearful, we could just go to bed and roll back for a few hours trying to settle down, or we can trust the Lord and remember His faithfulness. The one that has been faithful to us every day of our lives will be with us the next day. And when we reframe our hearts and souls remembering God's presence, we can let go of fear. We can let go of that anxiety. We can trust in the Lord like the song my mother taught me to say at night. Paz me acostaré y así mismo dormiré. I know it's Psalm 4, but I haven't memorized it in English. But you know how it says, I will just trust in the Lord that the next day the Lord will be with us. I mean, where is He going to go? It is good. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. Why? It helps our hearts focus. It helps our hearts remember. It helps our hearts recenter in love, grounded in love, centered in that presence, that source of wellness and energy and wisdom and positive things that uplift our hearts when we're surrounded in His presence from the morning and we give thanks to the Lord. We can do anything that day. It doesn't matter how hard it is. It doesn't matter if we have to go to a hospital or a court or a jail or wherever it is that the Lord brings us. It is good to give thanks to the Lord. Do you remember someone in jail that gave thanks to the Lord and wrote letters of encouragement to the rest of the people of God? You remember Paul? Rejoice in the Lord always. And he's there in jail, surrounded by soldiers, eating what they give him. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again I tell you, rejoice. The sound, it's very specific. It asks us to use music. Why? Because sometimes when we sing the praises to the Lord, it's easier for us. Sometimes to pray our own words is hard to remember, but when you wake up in the morning and one of these hymns is in your head, it happens when we practice in the choir, and then you wake up in the morning and this hymn is in your head, keep on singing it. Because these praises to the Lord has been written so very eloquently to help us pray. The book of Psalms, they were all songs. In my tradition, most of the songs are sung, which is, of course, not the songs that they will use. We are Puerto Ricans, so we have the Latino. But it works for us. Because you have made me happy, Lord. Oh, I love that one. It is recognizing that what we have, what fills us with joy, it's not the things of the world. It's not the things that we have. It's not the people that are with us. It is the one no clue how to be happy. They have no clue who to trust. Their hearts are fearful of the future. They have no idea what to hang on to. And their days are sad, depressed, and dark. But for us that know the Lord, when we wake up and we give thanks and we recognize that it's good to give thanks because He has made us happy with what we have, no matter what it is, much or less, it is the Lord that sustains our lives. I will sing with joy. When I was in the seminary, I would use the songs that I had learned from my childhood and I would sing. I would stand in the corner, I would stand thinking. I went to the back of the seminary and it was a beautiful place with trees and the yard, and I just stood there and started singing in Spanish, and suddenly I hear noise behind me. There were a lot of glass windows, and I see this man that comes and starts rolling the curtains. And I look at him. He looks like the president of the seminar. It was his office right behind me, but what did I know? And before he closed, he looked at me well. I think he was trying to figure out who in the world is this lady. So I found different places to sing. But you know, when you sing to the Lord, something happened in your lives. When I was called to be a local pastor, I was in the street. I just wanted to tell everybody about Jesus, and the church said, well, let's make her a local pastor. But there were some people that didn't like it, you know. A Latino woman as a pastor. I was the first one, so it was a big deal in those times. And when they said that I can come to the licensing school, which is when they consecrate you, you know, they train you and they send you forth. Someone called. They had told me already. I was already there that first day. Someone called and said, get her out. She shouldn't be there. Get her out. This is not for her. Get her out. Call her and tell her to go home. So there I am that day. And my pastor called me and said, this is what they say, but you're going to stay. You're going to finish that week. Because if you finish the week, that validates you. And if there's not a church now, when the church comes, they can put you in. But if you don't finish, you don't have anything. You have to wait until next year because it's only once a year. So I stayed, and that day, you know, in Blackstone, there is a big cross in the center. And I went down to the cross. And I began to sing. And I sing until I have no more words for the Lord. And one of my friends that heard me singing, I don't know, it must be that I sing so loud. He came down, put his hands around me and said, whatever it is, just trust the Lord. Let's go back in. And we went back in. And it happens that night. It was the night to meet the bishop, which was a new bishop, Bishop Beno at that time. That was years ago. He probably doesn't remember any of this. And he came that night. And he had his part, and then he said, if there is anyone with questions for me, yeah, my hand was up already. And I asked him, this is what I'm doing in the streets with the Latinos. Do you have anything in this conference for them? We don't have books in Spanish. We have nothing. Is there anything in this conference for people who speak Spanish like me? And I remember he looked at me and said, well, we don't have yet, but it seems to me that maybe that's why the God is calling you to be here. And after that day, next day, they called me back. Everything is okay. The bishop says you can stay. The Lord is good. It is good to give thanks to the Lord, even on those days when your heart wants to drop, when you don't know what the future will bring, when the people tell you, get out, you're not welcome here, but you can trust in the to proclaim. There is a reason why the Lord gave us life. There is a reason why He gave us strength. There is a reason why He poured His blessings over us every day. For us to proclaim His love. For us to acknowledge His presence